not like there's a lot of black characters in comics.
There are some we claim as black.
Skeeter from Doug, Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z.
Big Bird?
Sir, are you dead inside?
Coming soon to Apple TV Plus, streaming March 26th.
Ashley Saunders with Big Gold Belt Media. Thank you for taking time to do this today. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Ashley.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. So Side Quest debuts alongside Mythic Quest season finale this week. And Ashley, you and I talked a few weeks ago about Side Quest. Yeah.
We did.
And you couldn't really talk too much about it. So I'm excited that we can dig in now because I really like the show.
Oh, thank you.
Great.
Did she mention us? In that last interview, she talked about, did she mention us?
She did. She said you were amazing. Nothing but great things.
Thank you, Ashley.
But seriously, so we discussed how Side Quest feels like a love letter to the fans. And I wanted to ask all of you, was it your goal when you were developing the show to also have it show the positive impact of fandoms? Because we know the toxicity is everywhere, but I really feel like Side Quest embodies that feeling of community that we get when we're a part of something special like a fandom.
Absolutely. I think Pull List really shows that as well. And you have a character like Cherry who can come off as very brash and aggressive and protecting her space, a space that she feels safe and is hers, and is a little gatekeepy, which I think you can find in fandoms, that people are, this is mine and you can't have it. But I think there's such an empathy to that as well. You see why she is so fiercely protective when you feel like you are othered or marginalized, or you really only have found this one safe space for yourself. You're going to protect it. And sometimes that protection can take a form that is a little prickly for outsiders. But I think humanizing that and seeing where that comes from, that while the toxicity is never excusable, you can kind of see how it got there. And it comes from a place of passion and love. And hopefully you can come to a place like in Pull List where everyone can kind of find the common ground, which is there's this thing that we love, and isn't it better if we share it? So I'm hopeful that people can kind of find that messaging. And I think that's present in a lot of the different spaces that we explore in this anthology.
I agree. And speaking of it being an anthology series, so standalone episodes, this question is for all of you. How did you land on these specific topics being the ones that you wanted to cover?
Well, we kind of started just very generally and broadly looking at the huge gaming ecosystem, and there's like so many different parts of it, and there's so many different interesting parts of it. And I think when we started in that place, and it was actually kind of, that was the task, was like bringing it down to like a manageable. So then when we look into things like, like Fugue, for example, there's so much incredible music created for some of these like AAA games, that is art in and of itself. You can sit down and like listen to that music, not even play the game, and be like, wow, this is wonderful, this is beautiful, I can listen to this in my car, So that was like just realizing that, and then the level of skill and talent and the number of people involved in just making that one single aspect of a game is so interesting. And then the fact that they toured around the world for people to enjoy in a totally different context outside of like playing a video game, that's so interesting. And it's like, and then the wheels start turning and you're like, who are these people? And like, what is the journey of someone who has wanted to do this for her whole life, and then she gets it and it's not what she wanted it to be? And then then you are zooming in on the very human, like ground level story that you want to tell within this larger context that like pretty much anybody watching it can relate to.
I agree. Ashley, was there a particular episode that resonated with you, or a message in one of those episodes that you really hope fans kind of grab onto?
Yeah, I mean, I think the last raid is probably one. I mean, I relate to all of them in different ways, to be honest. I've definitely been a Phil in my life. Certainly, I think we all have. But I think the last raid, I have a group of friends that I play games with. That episode is really about the sort of pains of growing up, how relationships change. And there's a lot in that episode that I relate to. And I think as as a person that grew up playing games and still plays games to keep in touch with people, it really is, I think, a love letter to that community and to that experience. So probably the last raid for me. But like I said, I think the great thing about all of these episodes is that they have something that is relatable. Whether it's like the sort of preciousness of a found family, of a found community, or work-life balance or lack thereof. All of these speak to experiences that I think all of us were able to relate to, and hopefully people that watch the show can as well.
I agree. So my last question is for you, Ashley. Are we going to get more side quests or maybe more of these characters? They could pop up in MQ. I'm just saying, I feel like we need to hang out with them again. I especially want to go back to the comic book shop. I'm just
So
gonna put
do
it out there.
Yeah, I know. It's so I want to hang out there. It's so cozy.
Right?
We would love that. It's really, we love this show. We love working together. It would be awesome to be able to come back and do more of this show, to do more of Mythic Quest, to get to see people that maybe we saw in side quests would be really fun. It's in the Fates' hands at the moment. So hopefully, as Katie said in another interview, write your congressman, write your...
Yes, right. All the people. Well, that's my time. Thank you so much again. And I'm excited for everybody else to see Side Quest because I think I watched it alongside Mythic Quest before it all debuted. So I'm been sitting on this and I'm like, I want to talk about it.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.